morning. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing well.
It'll be $8.99.
All right.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so we've got not one, but two spoiler alerts for this video. First spoiler alert is I am going to the dealership. There is not a Harley Davidson Bronx model that we're going to review. Number two, I don't know for sure that the Bronx is even coming. Clickbait videos, especially in this motorcycle space, annoy me to no end, so I'm trying not to do that. So if you think that I have some information that you guys don't have, that we for sure have the Harley Davidson Bronx coming, you can just click away now, because that's definitely not the case. But I am here to plead the case of why, in my opinion, it makes sense that Harley Davidson will release the Bronx model in 2023. So the Bronx first made an appearance in 2018, and then it was seen in 2019 alongside the Pan America, shortly after it was basically scrubbed from any of Harley Davidson's media. Why does this make sense for Harley? The RevMax platform has been around for a few years now. It's clear that this is going to be the future of the motor company as emissions continue to tighten. As with any major change, the HD crowd is very slow to accept things like this. I think letting people see the potential of these new engines in bikes other than the models that people hold so sacred is a really good idea. Two, we need bikes that appeal to the younger crowd. When I was a kid, a lot of the guys that I viewed as cool had a Harley, and I'm not really sure that's quite the same for this younger generation. Three, the Pan America seems to be doing well, all things considered. I think it shows that if executed well and priced right, Harley Davidson can sell things outside of their wheelhouse. Four, Harley just recently renewed the patent for the Bronx name, so we know that they haven't completely dropped the bike yet. Now, what could you expect as far as a potential price point? Now, without seeing it, checking it out, filling out the touch points, aka how much cheap plastic is gonna be on this bike, save your breath on the "it saves weight" comment, which I got a lot on my review of the 975, because you know what else saves weight? Carbon fiber. Now, I wish I could say this bike would likely come in around 12 to 13 grand, partly because I'm tired of hearing Harleys are too expensive, and partly because I'm worried Harley Davidson not having a bike with what I'd consider an entry-level price point is problematic. So I'm gonna guess this bike comes in between 14 and 16,000. Let's look at some of the competitors. Now, I haven't heard a lot of chatter out of the Harley Davidson crowd about the Indian FTR, and that's probably because the Harley versus Indian debate seems to run pretty deep. And I'm here to tell you, as a self-proclaimed Harley guy, the FTR is better than good. It's actually great. For that style of bike and that type of riding, I think it could be one of the best. Another bike in that category is the Yamaha MT-09. Now, I haven't personally ridden this bike, but I do plan on doing so, since I've heard so many people say how amazing that one is as well. Now, this brings us back to the price discussion. The MT-09 starts at a very competitive 10 grand. The FTR starts at 13.5. Now, one thing we know for sure, Harley Davidson doesn't really seem to care too much about being competitive when it comes to pricing. The Nightster 975, for example, is 14 grand, where the Honda Rebel is 10. Now, you could argue the Indian Scout starts at 13, but I would consider the Scout a closer matchup to the Sportster S that comes in around 15.5. Now, this raises the question, are Harley Davidson bikes too expensive? I mean, are Rolex watches too expensive? For some people, absolutely. I've heard people argue Harley's using outdated technology, Harleys are slow, they're underpowered. I've heard plenty of anti-Harley Davidson talk, but the simple fact is that's the bike that most people want. Now, I know people will disagree in the comments, but next time you go to Sturgis, Daytona, any big bike rally or big bike gathering, just take note of what percent of those people are riding Harley Davidson. When could we expect to see it? I think this is going to depend. If there's a decent amount of changes and enough excitement around the other 23 models, I think it may be a mid-year release. If Harley Davidson decides to save some money this year and leave most of the models unchanged besides some new color options, I think it would be smarter to launch it earlier in the year when they're announcing new bikes in January, just to create some more hype. Again, this is all just my personal speculation. Let me know down in the comments what parts you agree with, what parts you disagree with, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.